Hello everybody and welcome back. It's the 7th of May, so this is the first day of the Buzzwordathon or whatever it's called. It's something along those lines, and this has been created by Lala from Books and Lala, Kaylee, and also she's got a co-host, and I want to call him Dean, but I don't think his name's Dean. It's either Dean or Michael, or sorry, I'm ever so sorry, I'll put it down below. I can't remember his name. So the buzzword that's going to be taking place between the 7th and 13th of May is the word girl. So the challenge is to go and look on your shelves and see what books you can find with girl in the title. So as long as it's got girl there, it can be girlfriend or girls or, you know, anything that's got girl in there, it can be counted. So I was quite surprised that I'd got quite a few. I know it is quite a common buzzword. Everybody seems to be using it for stuff at the minute, but I was surprised what I had. So here we are. Here's what I've got. So this is a new one actually that I've recently acquired when I did my birthday haul. And this is The Girl Savage, and it's the author Katherine Rundell who did The Rooftoppers. I've also got that book. And it says, Wilhelmina's world is golden, living half wild on an African farm with her horse, her monkey and her best friend. Every day is beautiful. So, The Girl Savage. Middle grade book, that. If I was a girl. If I was your girl, sorry, I was a girl. If I Was Your Girl by Meredith, I don't think it's Russo. And this is I've read this, it's very, very good. YA, contemporary. Amanda Hardy is the new girl at school. Like everyone else, all she wants is to make friends and fit in. But Amanda is holding back, even from Grant, the guy she's falling in love with. Amanda has a secret. At her old school, she used to be called Andrew. So great. Yeah, we've got that in there, and it is actually a very, very good book. Go and look that one up. This is a great chunker of a book. Not read this yet. The Crow Girl. This is by Erik Axelsund, and Norwegian sounding name, I think. I've not looked him up, but I think so. And this is a crime fiction. And it says it starts with one body, the hands bound, the skin marked, covered in marks. Detective Superintendent Jeanette Kilberg is determined to find out who is responsible, despite opposition from her superiors. When two more bodies are discovered, it becomes clear that she's hunting a serial killer. So I won't say too much more, because I know a lot of you out there, we don't like to know too much, do we, about thrillers? So yeah. I think it might take you more than the whole week to do that one, so I'm not sure I'm going to choose that. Then obviously most people have heard of Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. And there are questions Nick Dunn finds himself asking on the morning of his 5th wedding anniversary, when his wife Amy suddenly disappears. The police suspect Nick. And actually I haven't read it. I've had it on my shelves forever and haven't read it. Dare I admit. So again, crime thriller, contemporary. Moth Girls. This is by Cassidy. 5 years have passed since two young girls, Petra Armstrong and Tina Pointer, went missing. As the anniversary draws nearer, Mandy is haunted by the night her two best friends disappeared. What started off as a dare, ending with them vanishing without a trace. Moth Girls. Girl in the Snow. Now this is by Danya Kukafka. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Now, I won't go down this route because I heard somebody else talking about this recently, about how wrong it is for arcs to be sold in shops, in charity shops or whatever. I suppose they're getting the money for the charity shop, but really, you know, those of us that are do well enough, how can we say do well enough, that's not the word, are lucky enough to get be sent ARCs really shouldn't be passing them on. Well, you might, it's a whole new discussion, we'll not go into that there, but I know it's something that we could discuss at a later time, at a later video if you'd like to, because actually there's some buzz going around at the moment what people feel about people that are lucky enough to get ARCs and then getting rid of them. Anyway, this is the proof this January this year, and so I don't know what the cover's going to look like, what the cover does look like. I think it's due out actually in August, January the hardback in the UK, and then for overseas in August I believe. Some places it was already out last year, I think. Anyway, when beloved high school student Lucinda Hayes is found murdered, no one in her sleepy Colorado suburb is untouched. Not the boy who loved her too much, not the girl who wanted her perfect life, not the police officer assigned to investigate. Not saying any more about that, can't wait to read that. That's a recent one haul that I've acquired. Radio Girls, written by Sarah Jane Stratford. And Maisie Musgrove is thrilled to land a job at the fledgling British Broadcasting Company, Corporation as it was called back then. Those new and electrifying radio network is captivating the nation. Famous writers, scientists, politicians. The BBC is broadcasting them all, but behind the scenes Maisie is drawn into a battle of wills being fought by her two bosses. So that looks really interesting. And the BBC obviously here in the UK. The other Boleyn girl, so we can't have a girl there without a bit of Philippa Gregory. The other Boleyn girl by Philippa Gregory, and this is from Henry VIII's time, and this is about Mary Boleyn. So obviously Anne Boleyn was one of the 8 wives of Henry VIII, but Henry VIII, the 6 wives. Henry VIII, one of the 6 wives of Henry VIII, not one of the 8 wives of Henry VIII, one of the 6 wives. But this is about Mary Boleyn. She comes to court as a girl of 14 and catches his eye because he was a bit of a lad, was our Henry VIII. And dazzled by the golden prince, Mary's joy is cut short when she discovers that she is a pawn in the dynastic plots of her family. When the capricious king's interest wanes, Mary is ordered to pass on her knowledge of how to please him to her friend and rival, her sister Anne. What's having a sister like that? That's awful. Anyway, they did all sorts of things like that back in the day, didn't they? Very well loved author is Philippa Gregory for historical. And then finally, my beloved Lilac Girls. Love, love, love this book. Martha Hall Kelly, and this was just an amazing book, and I think it's a must read for everybody, and it's something that I will read again. So if you don't know of this was inspired by the real life of a World War II heroine. This powerful debut novel reveals an incredible love story of redemption and terrible secrets that were hidden for decades. Caroline Faraday is a New York socialite and a liaison to the French consulate. Kasia Kuzmerek, she's a Polish teenager. She sinks deeper into her role as a courier for the underground resistance movement. And then we have the third person in here, who is called Herta Oberhauser or Hauser. Now Herta Oberhauser is actually was a real life person. She qualified as a doctor in the early stages of the war, and she thought she was going to go and help, so she ended up going to the Nazi war camps and thought that she was going to just go there to do normal you know, the everyday doctor stuff, everyday medical stuff, but unfortunately when she got there she did find that she had to join in with medical experiments, and Ravensbrück, which is renowned for that. So really it's the three lives of Caroline, Cassia and Herta, all entwined in this. It's a marvellous book. It's quite upsetting, but I think it's an important read. And yeah, so that's my final choice. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's surprising what you can find when you go through your shelves. So have a look down below for the information about this Buzzword Readathon, and go and check out the channels of the two creators, and see you again soon. Let me know how you're going, if you're going to be joining in, and what books you've chosen. And don't forget to subscribe if you will, please. You have to press the bell now for notifications. I'm trying to get up there to 1,000 with the new rules. All the smaller booktubers are trying to get up there to 1,000. So if you like what you see and you want to find out every time I've got a new video out, then please subscribe.